Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel At Home with Chelle, and today I have a very highly requested video, and that is how I go about my meal planning. So today I'll be sharing with you all the steps that I take when I'm putting my meal plans together. I'll then be sharing the 7-day meal plan that I put together based on those steps. And then lastly, a grocery haul, so showing you everything that I've picked up in my shopping this week to make all of the dinners, so the lunches, the breakfast, dinners, snacks, everything that I'll be eating over the next week to try and help me lose weight and kind of stay on plan with following Slimming World, and just trying to eat a little bit healthier as well. So I really hope that you enjoy this video. If you do, then please give it a thumbs up, and if you are new and enjoy this kind of content, then I would love for you to subscribe. If you've watched any of my videos before, then you'll know how much that I bang on about meal prepping. For me, meal prepping is so important. I try and meal prep every single week. Don't get me wrong, sometimes I do have bad weeks where I'm not as good as other weeks, but generally those weeks where I don't meal plan, I end up putting on weight. I just feel sluggish in myself, whereas compared to the weeks that I've meal planned, I just feel so much more organised in myself. When I'm coming home from work, I know what I'm having for dinner, the family know what we're having. There's just none of that like, oh, what we're having for dinner. It just takes that kind of brain power away from that as well. So yeah, meal planning is so important. So I'm going to go through the process that I do now when I'm meal planning. So the first thing that I do is generally go through the cupboards and the fridge and the freezer to see if there is anything in there that needs using up. Generally the fridge, so for example, for the purposes of this video, I've just done that before I started filming. So this week it's generally fridge stuff, just to make sure that you're using up, because I can't stand food going to waste. So making sure that you're using up anything in there. I've got a gammon joint that I need to eat up this week, some tomatoes, some smoked salmon, asparagus, a little bit of pesto, some carrots, and some other kind of salady bits that all need using. So then what I do is when I've made that list, then I will make sure that I plan meals with that in, just to make sure that I am using it up. So I would always recommend doing that before you start your meal plan, because otherwise if you start your meal plan from fresh without doing that first, you then end up throwing food in your fridge away, which is just a complete waste. Then when I've done that, I then look at what I'm going to make. So generally I look in probably 3 different places when I'm deciding like kind of meal ideas and getting inspiration. One is cookbooks. So I have a few cookbooks. I did a huge declutter recently, and I did get rid of a lot of my cookbooks because they just take up so much room and I don't use them all. So I just kind of kept some of my go-to ones. I kept a couple of them. Then I go on Instagram. So I also have a kind of foodie Instagram page where I try and upload my meals on there sometimes. So it's Eat Well Not Less _UK if you want to follow me over there. Yeah, I'm not always that good at uploading just because it takes so much time to kind of write my recipes out and stuff. But I've been doing it for a little while now, so every now and then I'll go back through some of my old photos on there and I'll be like, oh yeah, I'll definitely have that this week. And on that I include the sin values, calories as well, or the method, how long it takes. So it's quite handy if you are looking. There's loads of inspiration if you want to look on there. And like I said, I use it as well because it kind of almost acts as like on Instagram, like a bit of a library of my photos on there. And then the next place I look is Readly. So I'll talk to you a little bit about Readly if you haven't heard of them before, but I swear by it for meal planning. This part of the video is also sponsored by Readly, but I am a customer of theirs anyway. So Readly is essentially an online magazine subscription where you can get access to over 7,000 magazines. I use it mainly for the foodie magazines because I used to buy all the foodie magazines, and then like I mentioned earlier with the decluttering, they just take up so much room. And actually when you go through the magazines, there's probably only about, I don't know, 4 or 5 pages out of the whole magazine that I want to keep. And then they just take up so much room. So having it all online, then I don't have all that clutter in my house, which I can't stand. So yeah, as I mentioned, I use it mostly for the kind of foodie magazines, but they literally have so many magazines on there. All of the lifestyle magazines. I look at a lot of kind of travel magazines. So if I'm going somewhere, so in the summer, for example, we are going to Italy, so we're going to Rome and then to Florence as well. So they've got loads of travel magazines, so I've like bookmarked a special magazines for that, so I can have a look at them. They've got loads of like kind of fashion magazines, I quite like them. The home magazines, just to give lots of inspiration. Yeah, so many different magazines. And what I really like about it as well is that 5 people in your household can use it. So we've got kind of one account, so it's £9.99 a month, but you use one account and then 5 different people can have it. So I have one, my eldest daughter does, Nick does, and then we all have our kind of like own accounts on there as well. So we all have our own favourites and different things that we read. So Nick looks at a lot of kind of techie stuff on there and car things. Tamsin, my eldest, she's going travelling, so she looks at a lot of like the travel magazines and kind of fashion and stuff. And like I mentioned, I generally use it for the food and lifestyle stuff as well. I did actually discover the other day podcasts on there. I didn't know that they were on there. I was looking at, which magazine was it? It was one of the foodie ones, the Olive Food magazine. And as I was flicking through that, I realised that they had some podcasts on there, and that was quite interesting. They're quite little short snippet ones as well. I think it was around 11 minutes or something. So that's quite nice to listen to, just like when you're in the car or when you're sat at work as well. But yeah, like I said, I generally use it for meal planning. So they are the 3 kind of places that I go to, and I have actually got a special offer if you haven't tried Readly before. If you click in the link down below, then you can try it for completely free for 2 whole months. So after that you can cancel at any time you want. There's no hidden fees or anything, but if after that you do want to continue, then it's £9.99 a month, which in my opinion for access to all those magazines is amazing. So now I'm actually going to start planning my meals, and the first thing that I do is plan my dinners and then kind of work backwards. So I do like dinners, lunch, breakfast, and then I do my snacks. So for the dinners, I'm just going to go on to the Readly app now and show you what I've done. Let me screen record it as well actually, and then you can kind of see what I'm looking at, because it'll be much easier for you to see that than obviously on here. So let me go on to here. Right, so if I go on to my bookmarks, so there's bookmarks, what I was saying about earlier. So if, for example, I'm reading a magazine or I'm just flicking through and I find a recipe that I want, then what I'll generally do is bookmark it, and then when I come to meal planning, then I will just go on it and know that I want to make that. And then I did find actually, which magazine was it in? Ah, this was it. It was in the BBC Good Food magazine. They had a midweek meals for 2 meal plan, and they all looked absolutely delicious. So I'm definitely kind of stealing some of the recipes on there. So the first meal that I've planned, so I've already kind of done that just for the purpose of this video. The first meal is a spicy tortilla soup. And then I mentioned that I had a gammon to use, so we're also going to have gammon one night. It's my eldest daughter, she's going off travelling, so we're going to have that as her last kind of meal because gammon is her favourite meat. So we're just going to have real simple gammon, egg and chips. So I'll just do the gammon in the oven, I'll do homemade chips as well, so basically just chop some potatoes up, put them in the oven, and do egg and pineapple with it. So we've got that one night as well, so that kind of ticks off using up my gammon that I needed using up. Then the next night is again on the Readly app. So which one was this one? It was the ramen. This one looked delicious. So this is the miso and butternut squash ramen. How delicious does this look? So normally on like kind of weeknights as well, I'll try and make sure that I make things that don't kind of take too long as well. So this is 15 minutes prep, which is fairly easy as well. Doesn't take that long to cook, and yeah, it is nice and veggie as well, because I'm trying to eat a little bit more veggie. So what also I do normally, I've already done this because I kind of did it earlier, but what I would normally do when I am selecting the recipes that I want, I will then generally do this as my partner has the Tesco app open, and then he will order what I want and then we just get it delivered. Or if we're going like shopping in Aldi, then as I'm writing down, then as I'm going through the recipes, I'll just write down what I want, and then obviously I can pick it up when I go shopping. Another thing that we are having is again from here, it's in my bookmarks, I hope. I found this really cool magazine actually. It's actually a Sainsbury's magazine. I'll put it up now. And it's Sainsbury's magazine, under 600 calories. I can't remember, there was like 70 something different recipes in there, and they are all so delicious looking. So I pulled out a couple that we will definitely be having. One of them will be the Tuscan chicken pasta, which look delicious, and I think my mum is coming for dinner that night as well, so there should be enough for everyone. And then the other one that we have is the Chipotle steak fajita bowl. This looks delicious, and I think we'll have this at the weekend because it just feels like a real treat for something to have at the weekend. And then what other one did I put on here? I put a pulled chicken. Where was that? I feel like I definitely bookmarked that one. Is that it? Yes. So this is a pulled chicken bowl, and then what I liked about this magazine actually is that it used the ingredients from other dinners as well. So it was from the tortilla soup at the start of the week. There was some chicken left from that, so then you'd use the leftover chicken in the pulled chicken bowl, which looks absolutely delicious, and I'll probably just serve that with some rice. Then on Sunday we're going to have a fish pie with some veggies. So what I normally do is I then put all of my meals and everything into this like weekly planner that I make. I just make it on Canva, so I'll put a link down below for it if anyone wants to use that. And then, so I know I have everything on there, and then I just then transfer all of the meals onto here. So this just hangs in the utility room in the kitchen, so everyone knows what we're having for dinner every night, because I get fed up of people saying, "What's for dinner?" Whereas on here you can see what everyone's having. So once I've done the dinners, I'll then move on to the lunches, and I'll just put I've done all of that already, so I just try and again keep a bit of a mixture. So some of the things I'll just look where I could have it. Some are just basics, so I'll have like cheese on toast, or I've got some soups in there, a lot of salad, stuff like that. Then once I've done my lunches, I then do my breakfast, because I normally do that because I'm following Slim and World. I generally use my Healthy Extra B on either my breakfast or lunch. So if I've used it on my lunch, then I know I need to have something not using it for my breakfast, if that makes sense. But I'll quickly put the whole meal plan up, including my snacks and everything on the screen now. And then when my Tesco delivery comes, which is due any minute, it should have been, well, I say any minute, actually it should have been here ages ago, but yeah, it's still not here, so hopefully that will come soon. And then when that is here, I'll basically show you everything that I picked up in Tesco. I'll split it out into the meal plan so you can kind of see what's going into each meal, and then my lunches and snacks as well. Sorry, it's quite late now. The shopping has finally been delivered. It was actually due to be delivered between 8 and 9 this morning, but yeah, it's nearly 8 o'clock at night and it's just been delivered. So I've had to go to Aldi earlier on to get the dinner for tonight. Apparently he drove through some water, yeah, and the fan broke down. So I've just had it re-delivered. So I've just got all of this out onto the table. This is all the ingredients for what we are having for dinner this week. I'll start off by sharing with you the chicken. So this is the chicken thigh fillets, the skinless and boneless ones. I always get these. They're my favourite ones to get. Because it's generally just Nick and I that I'll be cooking for. Arabella might have a little bit as well, but Tam won't be here for dinner anymore because she will be gone. Then this should do us around 3 meals, hopefully. So the first meal that we're having is the spicy tortilla soup. So to go with this, we'll need a couple of the chicken thigh fillets, some of this chipotle paste, which was actually quite expensive. I couldn't believe how much that was. A red onion, pinto beans, some sweet corn. I'll add some stock as well, a lime, some yogurt to serve it with, and then I've also got these Weight Watchers wraps. So I'll cut them up, a couple of them up, and then that will be like kind of tortillas to have with it. Another dish that I'll be having with the chicken is a pulled chicken bowl. So to make this, I'll be using again a couple of the chicken thigh fillets, an onion, I think I've got another lime in here somewhere as well, some passata, the spinach, some baby plum tomatoes, and then I've got the coriander to have with that as well, and then I've just got some rice which I've got in the cupboard to serve it with. And then the final meal that I'll be making with the chicken thigh fillets is the Tuscan chicken pasta. I didn't need to buy the pasta because I've already got the pasta. So then to go with that, I've got some baby plum tomatoes. I've already got the spinach, which I've got there as well. Got the basil to go with that, and then I'll need around a tablespoon of creme fraiche, and then some parmesan, which I've already got as well. Yeah, and then that is about it. So I will get 3 meals out of a packet of chicken breasts, chicken thigh fillets rather. Then to make the miso and butternut squash ramen, I've got butternut squash, but I've got these frozen ones. These are really handy actually. I often keep these in, and they're super nice just to have as an alternative to like potatoes, and I'll just put these in the air fryer sometimes. But obviously for the purpose of this, then they will go into the ramen, and they're much cheaper than buying like a fresh one as well, especially if you don't need that much. It's quite handy. Then I got these has got 5 sachets of miso in, which again is quite good because it won't hopefully then go off. I've got some egg noodles. I'll have a couple of eggs with that, some purple sprouting broccoli, and then I've also got some chilies as well, and then the coriander that I had over there. At the weekend we're having a bit of a treat, so we'll be having the chipotle steak fajita bowl. So you'll have seen that I had this chipotle paste that I'd bought for the chicken soup earlier on, so hopefully there'll be half of that left as well, and then I can add that to there. So then for this I've got 2 sirloin steaks, some kidney beans. I'll also need to add a couple of peppers, which I already have in the fridge. We'll have half an avocado each, some coriander, and then I'm going to serve it with some quinoa, again, which I already have. The last meal that I'm going to make is a fish pie. So I just got this frozen fish pie mix. I've got some potatoes to go with it as well, and then I will get some veg, but because we're not having that until Sunday, I normally like to pick up the veg fresh, so I'll probably get that on Saturday morning, whatever veg is on offer basically, to go with the fish pie. And then this evening for dinner, which I've already eaten, so it's annoying because I'd bought this stuff, so we just had gammon. So I had slow cooked gammon, and I'd bought these pineapple slices, and we just had homemade chips. I'd obviously had to go and get some other potatoes, so just made potatoes, made chips with potatoes, obviously. Over here I've just put out everything that I will be having kind of for lunches throughout the week. So one day I'll be having salmon, eggs and asparagus, all of which I've already got and needed eaten up. Then I'll be having a prawn and jacket salad, so I always pick up some prawns. Arabella really enjoys these as well. And then I've got some bacon potatoes, super easy, just pop them in the microwave, and I'll just have them with a side salad. I've already got loads of other salad as well, but I got some more, so I've got this mixed salad here, some plum tomatoes and some cucumber. Then a couple of days I'll have some soup, so I'll probably make some soup, and then I'll just have like a cheese and ham sandwich, or if I don't want the soup I'll just have, so I just get this red Leicester, and then I always get this bread, which is the Neville's bread. I really like this Neville's wholemeal bread. It's really cheap as well, and it's your healthy extra B for 2 slices of that. And then Nick has this one. He has the sunflower and pumpkin loaf. That's not included on Slimming World. We always buy nice eggs because I just think that it's worth buying eggs that are really nice. Sometimes we'll have like egg sandwiches or egg on toast. I have a lot of eggs for breakfast as well. Then I'll be making a pesto salad one day for lunch. And then I'll just have cheese on toast one day. Cheese on toast is definitely one of my go-tos. And then probably have another prawn or ham salad as well, because I've got loads of ham. These are the other kind of snack options. I didn't really need to get that much for breakfast because I already have loads of cereal, and the rest of it I'll just have kind of yogurt and fruit, which again, already had loads of fruit because I generally buy that at the weekend, but I just topped up on some grapes. I just bought some red grapes, some blackberries and bananas. I always buy this, the Fahi 0% fat-free yogurt. Generally it's on offer, or if not, there's the one in Aldi as well, which is really nice. Nick has these yogurts, they're the Gym Kitchen ones. Needed some salad cream. Snack wise, these hula hoop puffs are really good. They're only 71 calories, so if you're following Slimming World, they're around 3.5 sins a pack. These are for Arabella, but they're also really nice, just as like a little snack. They're the mini ones. They come in at 196 calories, so fairly high in sins. They're about 10 sins, but nothing obviously compared to the bigger ones. The crisps are for Arabella. These are other crisps that Nick and I will often have. They're the Snacker Jacks Barbecue. Again, these come in at around 4 sins per pack, or 78 calories. Smoothies for Arabella, pistachios, Nick eats them. And then these are the yogurts that I really like. They're these Muller chocolate fix ones. They're so nice, they taste so indulgent, but they're only 70 calories, or like 3.5 sins if you're on Slimming World. Other snacks that I sometimes like to have are seafood sticks. So I have these Fridge Raiders, the Southern style ones, and then there's the roast chicken ones. I think these are around 1 or 2 sins per pack, and then often we'll have a mini pepperami as well. So I really hope that you have enjoyed this video and it's give you an idea on how I go about meal planning, some meals that I'm having this week, and the type of food that I get when I have my groceries delivered. If you have enjoyed it, then please do give it a thumbs up. It really helps my channel. And if you do want to take advantage of the Readly offer, then if you click the link in the description box, then you can also try it completely free for 2 months. Well, as always, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Bye.